Hi everyone, welcome back to another gameplay of BTD5. So today guys, I wanted to make this video to summarize in one single video all the tips, all the tricks and all the exploits that I've learned throughout my years of playing the game regarding banana farms. So how to get more income, which is the best ratios, which are the best things you wanna do or sell, the village and so forth. So everything that I've learned. The trick also in upgrading the 3-0 farm into 4-0 farm to get more boxes, to get more income. So everything that I've learned through the years. And also I will be sharing with you a new trick. It's not really new, but it's something that I personally have learned recently about how to exploit a certain mechanic of farms and especially regarding Suprice, which you can also use to your advantage, and you can exploit and you can gain even more cash. Now, many of the tricks that I'm going to show you regarding farms are going to be especially useful for impoppable or for mastery mode, right? And because they're going to involve Suprice. Now, Suprice is one of the upgrades from the Monkey Lab, and this this bonus is going to allow you to get more cash by selling towers. Now, if you don't have it, or if you have it like level 0, you're going to be collecting 80% of the cash whenever you sell a tower. So let's suppose you have spent 1000 cash on a certain tower or for certain upgrades. If you sell it, you're gonna get back only 800 cash. So you're gonna be losing in the selling process 200 cash. All right, so it's always like you lose 20%. Now Suprice with all the different levels and upgrades is gonna allow you to lose less and less cash, up to, as you can see right here, at maximum level 13, you only lose 1% of cash. So you get back almost entirely everything that you have spent. Now remember, the first 8 levels of all the lab upgrades, right, are gonna be free in a sense, and instead the last 5 levels, so level 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 are gonna be unlocked with masteries. So whenever you unlock the different difficulty of the masteries, that's when you're gonna unlock the different levels on the lab upgrade. So when you unlock the beginner mastery, you're going to be unlocking level 9. When you unlock the intermediate mastery, it's going to be level 10, 11, 12, and 13 when you unlock the extreme mastery. So that's how it works, all right? Now, in my opinion, most of these tricks that I'm going to show you, even if you don't have Suprice level 13, all right, at least level 8, so getting back 95% of the cash that you have spent, it's already plenty. It's already enough. Of course, it's not going to be as efficient as, in this case, 99%, but it's better than nothing. And it's better than having it level 0, right? So remember, at least like level 8 or level 9 should be more than enough. So that being said, let's jump here into the gameplay. I'm not using premiums. I'm not using any other thing, right? I'm going to show you here on Sandbox all the different tricks that I've learned through my years of playing the game, and hopefully you're gonna start using these tricks as well for your gameplays. Now the first trick is the trick of the round. Now remember that whenever you're playing on any given round, you're gonna have to start it, especially if you don't have auto wave on, right? You're gonna have to click to start the round. Now this is the Steam version, guys, of the game. But all the tricks, all the things I'm going to be sharing with you also works on the mobile version of the game. So don't worry about that. And now remember, the first trick of the farms is that whenever you can, if you are playing on any given round, it's best to place a farm before the ends. Because if you do so, you're going to be getting the 2 bananas. And that's 80 cash, right? Because each banana is worth 40 cash. So you get 80 cash in this way. So remember, every time that you can, place a farm before the round ends. Here I realized that I haven't equipped Suprice. I haven't unlocked it. I haven't activated it. So I'm gonna do it now. So that's the first thing, all right? Remember, every time that you can, place a farm before the round ends. So that way you get the bonus cash. Now the second thing is gonna be villages and farms. Now remember, the villages in BTD5 are gonna reduce the cost of all towers and upgrades by 10%. So every tower in range of the village. And so many times it's better like if you have 1, 2, let's suppose you are already like mid-game, right? So you have got the farms, remember, in an L shape is always best. So in that way you can feed a village and you can discount all of them. So remember, always try to place the farms like in a U shape, in a C shape, in an L shape, anywhere, so that you can place a village and you can discount all of them, right? 4, it's the number that I've seen throughout my years of playing the game that is best. Sometimes even 3 works in like a harder map. Sometimes 3, it's good, but yeah, at least 4, I would say that it's good. Like if you go more, like 5, 6, 7, I think it's completely unnecessary and you don't need that many. So remember, so let's suppose here you have all these farms like 2-0, right? So you are at this stage of the game. Remember, always, like for the 3rd and 4th upgrade, in most cases, it's always best to wait to have enough cash to place the village, and then you get the 4th upgrade, the 3rd upgrade, and the 4th upgrade, especially because the 4th upgrade is very expensive. So this 10% discount of the village makes a huge difference. So I'm gonna just show you here. Without the village, this upgrade would be 14,000 cash. With the village, now it's 12.6 thousand. So it's 1.4 thousand that you save in having a village. The village, of course, is going to cost 1,600. So if we're just looking at one single upgrade, one single cost, you are actually spending more cash in placing the village than the one you would save from getting the upgrade without the village, right? But if you apply this for every single farm and you also apply it for the 3rd upgrade, so the cash that you save also from, see here, 3,200, that would be the normal cost. If I place the village, now it becomes 2,880. So that's again 320 cash that I save. So if you count this for all farms and for all the 4th upgrades, at the end of the day, the cost of the village is greatly unnumbered by the amount of cash you save in this process. So remember always that placing a village to discount the 3rd and especially the 4th upgrade is something that you want to do. Now something else that as well you're going to do, and again this is going to involve though using Suprice, is this, well actually not with the village, but it's when you are starting the game. So let's suppose you have your first farm, right? It's always best to upgrade the farm, to upgrade it 1-0. Now after you get one farm, because the 3rd upgrade here, the 2nd upgrade, sorry, is going to cost 1,400, and it's always going to cost more than placing a new farm. Okay, see here that placing a new farm is 1,000. This is medium, I think it should be medium cost. So in Improbable it's even higher, but it's always going to be scaled up, right? And so it's always cheaper to place a new farm rather than going for a farm to 0. But the difference is that a farm to 0 is going to give 7 bunches of bananas, right? Instead, a farm 1-0 is going to give 3, and a 0-0 farm is going to give 2. So it's true that it's less expensive, but even if you would place a farm here, 0-0, right? That's 2 bunches of bananas, and you get the 1-0 upgrade, so you spend a total of 1,300 cash in this process. You still are getting 3 bunches here and 3 bunches here, so you're getting 6 bunches. And the 2-0 farm would give you 7 bunches, so it's still more, right? You get more cash, and that's why, because of this, whenever you have Suprice, again, like remember, at least level 8, 9, but the higher you have it, the better. It's best whenever you can sell the lower tier farm, right, to upgrade the other one to 0, is best to do it. It's always best because you're going to be gaining cash. You're going to be actually gaining mathematically, because it's like one banana more, and the upgrade cost is almost exactly the same. And remember that with Suprice you really lose little cash, you don't really lose that much cash, and you can always place a newer farm. So let's suppose here I will have enough cash to get this farm upgraded like 2-0, right? I sell the other one, and then I don't really need that much cash to get this one again placed, right? It's 1,000. So again, this process can give you like 7 bunches of bananas plus the 2 or eventually 3 that you're gonna have by placing a new farm. So you can see here that there is a big difference, and it's always best to upgrade your farms at least to 0 rather than keep building them and placing them and just placing them 1-0. So that's another trick that I've learned, and I actually have an old video where I discuss the actual math, if you consider the math. So if you just count the base cost, the first upgrade cost, the second upgrade cost, and the efficiency, so how much cash you're earning with each upgrade, then you're gonna see that it's always better rather than doing this. So placing 4 farms like this, 1-0, that eventually are gonna give you 12 bunches of bananas. It's better and it's actually less expensive if you go only with 2 farms to 0. And they're actually gonna give you more bananas because it's 7 plus 7, it's 14. And you end up spending just a little bit less, a little bit more cash. As I said before, it's like 100 in this case for normal, and 100 more cash, but you get more bananas. And as well, it's very easy after you get the farms to 0 to get another one 0-0, right? Because the cost is only 1000. You don't need to wait until like 1400, so you don't need that extra 400 cash. So again, this is another process which I have learned through playing the game, and it's super good. Remember, the higher sell price you have, the better, because you're losing less and less cash in this selling of the lower farm and getting the other one upgraded. So just remember, 1-0, you place the other farm, right? And whenever you can sell the other one to get the first farm to 0, do it. So if you need to upgrade it, do it, right? Then as soon as you can, just sell it and get the other one to 0. And then you just do it for every farm. So you place again another one. When you can place a second one, right? When you can sell it to have enough cash to get this one to 0, do it, and so forth. You do this process for all 4 farms. Now, another trick that I've learned in this case is going to involve, again, selling sell price, but with the exploit of the village, is that after you get the village, as we said before, this is something that you're always going to do for the 3rd to reduce the cost of the 3rd and the 4th upgrade. But something even better that you can do exploiting the sell price is that after you place the village, see that each farm here is gonna sell for 26.73, and that's the cost of placing them, upgrading them, not having the village. Now, if after you place the village, you sell all the farms and you rebuild them again, so in this case it's gonna be like this, right? Now, because you are placing them already in a range of the village, and therefore you're exploiting this extra 10% discount on both the base cost, the first upgrade, and the second upgrade. Now each farm actually is less expensive, like it takes less cash to upgrade them because you're saving cash. You're saving 10%. So you gain this 10% cash right away, just by doing this process. Of course, then these farms, when you're gonna sell them, they're gonna give you less cash as well because they are already discounted. But you can use that extra cash that you earn through this process to get a farm, for example, 3-0 1 round earlier, or maybe 2 rounds earlier. And therefore you can already increase by a lot your income because you got a 3-0 upgrade rather than keep having your 2 zeros until you can afford the 3rd one. And therefore this can further increase your cash because you're earning now 13 bananas rather than 7, and so forth. So that's why it's always best with sell price. After you place the village, you sell all the farms, you replace them again, and sometimes something they recommend is like you get 3 farms to 0, like you get 1 farm 3-0, then you should be able to have 2 farms to 0, and then with remaining cash, you can just get 1 farm like 0-0, and then slowly you build again 1-0, and then eventually 2-0. So that's what I do, but you already have 1 farm 3-0 done in place, which is giving you more bananas. So yeah, this is also something that's gonna make you earn cash and generate a lot more income. All right, so that's another trick. Now the last trick it involves upgrading to the factory. Now this is something that I've discussed on many of my videos, and it's probably one of the most used tricks of the farms, and that is that if you upgrade the farm before you start the round, right, you transform bananas now into boxes. Now boxes, you're gonna gain less boxes. See here that bananas you earn 13, but they're only worth 40. So it's 13 times 40 the amount of cash you earn with a 3-0 farm. Instead, with the factory, you only produce 5 boxes, so it's less boxes, but each box is worth 400 cash. So it's worth 10 times more the amount of bananas. So rather than 40, it's 400. You only get 4, but if you consider 400 times 5 is 2000 cash. So in one single round, you get a total of 2000 cash compared to a farm 3-0 where you get 13 times 40, which is, I think, 502, right? 520. So it's a lot more. It's very expensive as upgrade, so that's why I said before, it's best to do it with a village. But now a trick that you can do is actually you don't upgrade the farm before the round starts, but you actually start the round, right? You click starting the round and then you upgrade the factory. So what happens then is that the game, because you start the game with a 3-0 farm, the game actually is kind of coded to give you bananas, right? And to give you 13 of them, because it's that's the upgrade, right? The upgrade should give you 13 bunches of bananas. But because of the fact that after you start the round, you get it to a factory, all those bananas become boxes. And so rather than getting 13 bananas, you get 13 boxes. Or if you're not quick enough, you might get like 12 boxes, like one single bunch of banana 40 and then 12 boxes or 11 boxes. But each box, remember, is worth 400 cash. So with this simple trick, in one single round, you can actually generate a ton of cash because of the fact that all the bananas from the 3-0 upgrade become boxes. And again, if you just consider like 12, right? 12 times 400 is 4,800. So rather than getting the usual 2,000 cash, you get at least 4,800. And if you do it with all 13 bunches of bananas, that's actually 5,200 cash. So it's more than double with this very simple trick. So rather than upgrading the farm and then turning it around, again, I'm gonna show you. You wanna get the 3-0, right? You have a 3-0. You start the round, and afterwards you get the factor upgrade. That's it. That's how to do it. And this is a very useful trick, and actually you can do this trick over and over. This is something that you have seen me doing, especially on Mastery. So like, let's suppose I have done this round, right? I've got the boxes, I've got the extra cash, I got the extra upgrades, whatever. At the end of the round, so before I start the new round, I can sell the farm again, I can place it, I can upgrade the 3-0, I can start the round and get the factor again. So I can keep on doing this trick over and over for each new round to generate this more than double amount of cash. And yeah, this is super strong. You can do it even with multiple farms. If you have seen my video on like tar pits, you saw there that I actually did it with 2 farms. So at a certain stage I had 2 farms 3-0. I started the round and I got both of them. Both of them 1-0. And so yeah, you get even more amount of cash. So rather than getting 4,000 cash, you get like more than 10,000. And yeah, you get an insane extra amount of cash, and you can just do it like that. So in my opinion, this trick of the farm, so like from 3-0 to 4-0 during the round, is something that is the most important like exploit of farms you can use. And then remember, after you have enough cash, you can get it like after you get the 4-0, that's when you want to get value bananas, and that with the boxes are worth 600 and not only more 400. But always remember afterwards. Always first is going for the factory. And now I'm going to show you the latest trick, so the latest kind of exploit that I've learned through this fellow player of the game, Albi. Now it's again an exploit using something that we all know. The fact that if you place a farm before the ends, you get the 2 bananas, so you get 80 cash. I'm gonna actually go to an actual game mode, gameplay, so you can see what I mean by this. And yeah, so let's jump here in Probable, and let's go to fast track, so in that way I can start already with enough cash. So look here what's gonna happen. Now, as I said before, remember, if you place a farm in the round, you're always going to have the 80 cash, even if you place it right before the ends. So let's suppose here, these are the last zeros, right, in round 26. So even if I place it right before the last balloon is popped, so right now, right, I'm going to still get the 2 bananas, the 80 cash, right? So even if you place it right before the end, as long as it's before the round is reset, so reset, so this button right here resets. Remember, this is disabled, by the way, right? You're gonna get the 80 cash. Now, an exploit, so something that you can exploit to your advantage, is actually this, that if you already have a farm, or if you place it right at the beginning of a round, you can actually collect the cash from the farm itself. So in this case, it's going to be 1 banana, right? And it should be 2, right? And then you can sell this farm, and you can place a new one, again, remember, before the ends. And because this is a new farm, this new farm, again, is going to give you the 2 bananas. 80 cash, right? And so in one single round, you have got like double amount of cash. Yes, it's true, you're gonna need to sell. So depending on the amount of sell price that you have, you might lose a little bit more or less cash. But if you have it at least level 8, you should be losing less cash than what you gain. So because you gain 160 cash in this process, and you definitely lose with sell price level 8, you definitely lose less than like 100. And in this case for me it's 12. So I've lost 12 cash and I've earned 160. So that's a total gain of 148 cash in just one single round using this exploit. And so again, it's not just merely exploiting the fact that if you place a farm before it ends, right, you get the double bananas, but it's also exploiting the fact that before that ends, you can collect the bananas, right, and then you can sell the farms. You can rebuild them again, and these new farms again are gonna give you the free bananas. And so in that way, yeah, you can do it even with multiple farms, as I showed you right here. So yeah, this of course is a let round, so I'm not gonna survive. But yeah, this is the very last exploit that I've learned and I've found out. So definitely I'm gonna start using it a little bit more, you know. Now personally, especially regarding this very last exploit, so something that I'm not really used, I think that the best way to exploit it is very early game, when you have your farms like either 0-0 or maximum like 1-0. So you can still benefit from this trick even with the farms like 1-0. Once you start getting the farms 2-0, I think not only like you start losing a bit more cash for the 2 bananas that you gain, right? So, but also it's like harder because you start having more bananas. So the last bananas might be giving you at the very end of the round. So maybe you don't have enough time to sell and place the new farm. Remember, you have to be quick. So definitely Steam with the hotkeys helps. But I would argue that it's best to, yeah, it's just best to do it with 0-0 farms or at least 1-0. So in that way, it's less bananas. You can count very well, just 2 or 3. Then you can sell it, and very quickly you can get a new one. So you can get the 2 bananas, and you can just keep going in this way. So so yeah, that's the last exploit. That's the last trick that I've learned. So I hope that in this game I was able to just summarize everything that I know about farms and how you can get more and more income, and especially how you can maximize a sell price, as I showed you. And you can just sell the farms to get the other ones, to upgrade them, to keep earning more and more cash. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and see ya. Bye bye.